And joining us for more on this is former Border Patrol Chief Rodney Scott. We kind of can't get over what's happening at the border in the pictures that we see. And oftentimes you'll hear us say, like, this is not sustainable. This can't be possible. And yet it really has been going on for so long. The Border Patrol must be at its wit's end.
Thank you for having me on again. And the morale of the agents is just tanked out. I spent yesterday down in Nogales. I'm still down here today. And the morale is tanked out. But we really have a short memory, I think. President Biden campaigned. He ran for president on a platform that he was going to tear down border security. And they've literally just done exactly what they promised. People also forget sometimes I was in the Biden administration for about 7 months. I participated in conversations with these people. Tom Homan and Bill are right. They do not want to detain people. This is not a problem for them except for the optics. And the optics are getting so bad. It's the only reason that they're doing these negotiations at the national level. But you'll hit on something. The reason the negotiations aren't going anywhere in the Senate is because the Republicans know, H.R. 2 has it in there, without ending catch and release, either through remain in Mexico or some form of detention, this goes on forever. And it depends on what you call sustainable. To the Democrats, this is fine. But for our country, this is devastating.
Democratic Senator Mark Warner from Virginia says the negotiations have finally gotten serious. I don't know if they get anything done, but they might want to pull somebody in from the House to get on these negotiations if they really want to move it forward. Meanwhile, you got Greg Abbott down there in Texas. He sent his first charter flight to Chicago. I think there are about 120 on board. Here is Alderman Raymond Lopez in Chicago talking about that very issue.
My mayor is blaming everyone except the person who needs to get the blame, and that is President Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They're not calling out Secretary Mayorkas for letting asylum seekers come to this country under false pretense and then giving them court cases 10 years from now. It's outrageous that common sense is nowhere to be found in the Democratic Party anymore when it comes to this issue.
Yeah, here's the problem, Chief, is that we're not getting anywhere on this. It's this drumbeat day after day. And it's only gotten worse in the month of December. But what do you think would change the president's mind?
Honestly, I don't think anything will change the president's mind. This is a little bit like the border wall. When he shut down the border wall, and again, I was still the chief at the time, there were conversations behind the scenes, literally how little could the administration do on construction without violating the Impoundment Act. When the courts ordered the administration to restart Remain in Mexico, there were discussions behind the scenes of how little can we do? How can we revamp it so that it doesn't work? This administration campaigned on this, that this is their core belief system. The only thing that's going to really change this, I think, is November 2024. Americans need to wake up, and I don't care who the candidate is. They need to vote for a candidate that supports national security, which is border security, which is your individual public safety.
Well, if that's the case, then it's 2 million more. All right, right. Because it's where it is now. Go ahead, David.
Well, I just
this could be fixed today. That we don't. By the way, we don't need policy discussions at the national level. This was a policy that Biden put in place. Biden could fix it today by signing a document that put Remain in Mexico back in place, and 80% of this would be over with. Everything is semantics and show. That's why I believe the only thing that will change is an election.
All right, Rodney Scott, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you, Chief.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.